and welcome to episode 8, which is going to be a presentation for the stages of writing, and I'm going to go over the first stage, which is for pre-writing. What is pre-writing? Pre-writing is the earliest stage of writing that creates the layout and builds the foundation of plays, short stories, novels, or other books, and involves the pre-planning and brainstorming for the execution of concepts and completion of fully drafted literary works. This is just a definition that I conjured up for pre-writing and what it basically is. How to pre-write. Pre-writing can be done in numerous ways, as every writer is different. Some writers start with mind maps, while others simply open a document, file, and list notes. As a writer, it really is up to you as an individual. You don't have to copy another writer's way of doing things. Just figure out what works best for you. Ways to pre-write. The following here is just a few ways to pre-write. The first is by mind mapping, which can be done manually by drawing on a poster or in a notebook, or by using a software program such as GetMind, which Laura will and I'll be doing a tutorial about. The next way is to get a composition book or journal to draw images or jot down your story ideas, or you could create a document of story information or your own pre-writing worksheet, as I have done myself. And the last way is to use 3x5 or 4x6 index cards. What to pre-write? There is a difference between short stories and novels. For short stories, you may not need to pre-write as much, as the story is more concise compared to full-length novels. Nonetheless, there are some things that all stories should have included in them, regardless of their length. One of the first things I brainstorm within all my stories are topics and themes. Topics are subjects within my story or that I need to research to aid me in writing my story, and themes are the basic ideas that my story is based on or revolves around in my book. Both of these can be pre-written in bullet lists, as I have on my personal pre-writing worksheet. Now I'm going to transition to my pre-writing worksheet just to show some examples of different things that writers can pre-write before writing their story. So this here is a worksheet that I made for myself for the first task of my indie publishing timeline. This is my pre-writing worksheet. As you can see on the first line here, I have 4 book titles, and that's where I put the line for that. And then I have main genre, which of course for me is usually Christian fiction. And I have subgenres here. Sometimes it may be historical fiction, sometimes women's fiction, or suspense. It depends on the type of story that I'm writing. And then I put like my estimated word count for the actual draft of the story here, my reading audience here, point of view, what point of view the story will be written in, whether first person's or third person limited or whatever. And then I have 4 viewpoint characters, who the main characters are for the story. And especially if it's like a character that's narrating the story, like Millie, for example, from my story, The Pack of Freedom. Then underneath that I have for story idea, what is the main idea of the story, where I can just summarize a little bit about what the main idea of the story is. And then underneath that, I have where I can put a short overview of who and what the story is about. Just a little bit more detail compared to up here. This first part up here is just more generic, and then this one at the bottom, the overview, is more detailed, you're using character names and stuff like that. Here on the next page, I have a bullet list here for topics or subjects within the story or different things that I may need to research for my story. And then I have themes or just the basic ideas of what the story is going to be based on. So I just have a table that I just pulled in here, and then I just put some bullets in where I can just write each of the topics or the themes on this side. Underneath that, I just have a thematic significance for what are the morals, central messages, or universal truths conveyed in the story, and I just have a couple lines for that I can write all of that in. It's pretty simple to add these lines in if you want to have lines to write on for your worksheet. All you have to do is just pull in a single box using the insert for a table. Just use a single box like that, and then insert that in, and then you just highlight it, and then you remove the left border, get rid of the left border, and get rid of the right border, and that will allow you to have lines in here that you can write on your worksheet. And if you want to add new lines after you get a line in here, all you have to do is just click the plus sign, go hover over it, and just click the plus sign, and that will add in more lines for you that you can write on if you need more writing space. And that's pretty much how I added the lines in for here. And then at the top here, I just typed in whatever title or whatever it is that I have to put here, and then I just used the dash and made a line across like that to fill in the top area for the titles and the genres and all the other things here. And underneath that, I have where I can just list a character list or cast list for the protagonists, supporting characters, and antagonists, as well as the character motivation, needs, and wants of the different characters, and as well as for the antagonists underneath. I don't really worry about doing the needs and wants for the supporting characters, just mostly the protagonists and antagonists because they are the lead characters. And then I can just put, character names and their positive and negative traits, stuff like that, to outline about the characters. A lot of this other stuff I'm going to actually go over with them later about character profiles and stuff like that. But for the most part, the main thing that you want to pre-write when you're writing a story is the title, of course, the genres, your word count target, point of view, viewpoint characters, what the story idea is, a overview or something like a short summary about who and what the story is about, and topics and themes, and thematic significance. You can also pre-write if there's any symbolism, things like that, or any types of literary devices that you want to use, like irony, for example. Irony is a very common literary device, especially within like short stories, that is good to use. But this is pretty much my worksheet for pre-writing. By using the developer, this right here, and they have a checkbox right here that you can insert, like that. And you can just put something across if you want to put something across that to check off, like different categories of characters or something. But it's pretty simple to make a worksheet in Microsoft Word that you can just reuse with every project that you do. But that is all that I have for this video, and until next time, happy writing.